I'm Mel Robbins, and it took me 45 years and more than 20 job changes to finally figure out what I wanted to do with my life, which is why this quote is so important to me personally. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Today, I want to empower you to be able to take control and make your life yours. But first, I'd like you to meet Chantal and Renee.
I'm Renee. I've had more than 60 jobs throughout my lifetime, and I don't know what my next step is going to be.
I'm Chantal. I'm going to be 50, and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. During my career, I've had more than 18 different jobs.
I've worked at a clothing store, I was a recruiter, a leadership coach, a director of career services, and I was even the host of the New Jersey Lottery for 14 years.
I've done everything from working with seniors to waitressing and bartending to managing a wine store.
I don't know what my next step is because I resigned my job last week.
I'm still searching for the job that feels like my forever home. Mel, I really need your help.
I think all of us are like nodding along like, yep, that's me, that's me. So Chantal, you had a panic attack 6 months ago when you were let go from a job. What happened?
Yeah, so I'd been working at this job and not very long, and I felt like, okay, like it felt good. Mm-hmm. They restructured, and I was let go. And I'm going to be 50 in a couple of months. And so this was that year that it all seemed to hit home, and I didn't know. I thought I'd be further ahead by this age, and I didn't know what to do next, and it really scared me.
I'm sure it did, and I think a lot of us feel that way, particularly when we hit 50. And one thing that I want to make sure you don't do, because the research shows that when we women get laid off, even in a restructuring where it's clearly not our fault, based on the research, we tend to take a 28% pay cut in our next job. And the reason why is as women, that's what you did?
Yeah,
okay,
I did.
see?
Yeah.
So the reason why is when dudes get fired, they're like, screw the job. When we get fired, we're like, what's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
Right? And so I don't want you to make that mistake, and I'm glad you're talking to me. Mm-hmm. So what did you do next after you got laid off?
Well, we had dark February, as I called it, that I went into a really bad place, and then I just kind of wallowed in it for a bit, and then I decided to get over it, and I did go out and I networked, and I had some thoughts of things I wanted to do, and so I asked friends, and I took people out for coffee, and I leveraged my network, and I started to get some advice on, how to start a business, but I didn't like what I was hearing, and it scared me, and I ended up going back to the same nonprofit industry that I worked in and getting another job with a huge pay cut.
And so you feel really stuck right now?
I do. Yeah. I do feel like I'm kind of in this niche that I can't really get out of.
Gotcha. Okay, and so Renee,
yes.
You just quit job number 63.
I did.
Look at with a big smile on her face. Yes. Why?
Well, I get frustrated sometimes, and I feel that being unemployed is better than being underemployed. And sometimes when I'm in this space, I just feel like my spirit is dying. And so I resigned.
So why does going from one thing to another bother you, Renee?
Well, I think it's because of the way that it's perceived sometimes. Some people think of it as you're unstable, you can't keep a job. Why don't you get a pension? And then other people think, oh, wow, you've done all these great, cool, wonderful, awesome things.
What do you think?
A combination of both. Sometimes I feel like I would love to be able to do what I love and also have that stability.
Right.
At the same time.
Right.
But I haven't been able to find that yet.
Well, I think that there are two different types of people. There are people that are like, Canadian geese who always fly in one direction and they kind of stay steady. And then there's the hummingbirds that like a little of this and a little of that and a little of this. You might always just be somebody that darts from one thing to the other because you're curious and you get bored easy, and that's okay.